Update 2, sign this. I want a perfect wife, not a burden in a wheelchair. You're divorcing me right in the ICU? We just took our vows? I'm young, I need to enjoy life. You pay your own hospital bills. Fine, take the papers and get out. Don't regret it when you find out who I am. I laughed. It hurt my ribs. Worth it. There's more, James continued. More? The accident report came back. The drunk driver who hit you? He was driving a car registered to Vincent's family business. My blood went cold. What? The driver was an employee of Jong Construction. Off the clock. But he'd been at a company party earlier that night. A party Vincent hosted. Are you saying? I'm saying there may be grounds for negligence. Possibly more. The police are investigating. I stared at the ceiling. Vincent's family. The accident. The divorce. Connected? Or just cosmic irony? What do you want to do, Miss Chen? I thought about Vincent's Instagram post. His champagne celebration. His freedom. Everything. I want to do everything. Wednesday, my medical team performed surgery. 6 hours. 3 specialists. Experimental nerve treatment. Cost. $847,000. I paid cash. Thursday, I was moved to a private recovery suite. Top floor, view of the city. Round-the-clock care. Vincent thought I couldn't afford my hospital bills. My hospital bills were less than my monthly interest income. Friday, the news broke. Not through me, through a business reporter who'd been tracking Chen family investments. Chen Harris Mei Lin hospitalized after wedding day car crash. The article detailed everything. My family's fortune. My secret identity. My quiet philanthropy. And one devastating line. Sources confirm Miss Chen's husband of 3 days filed for divorce while she was still in intensive care. My phone exploded. Messages from friends, from business contacts, from strangers. But I was waiting for one specific call. It came Saturday morning. Mei Lin. Vincent's voice. Panicked. Breathless. Hello, Vincent. Why didn't you tell me? I had no idea who you were. Would it have mattered? Of course it would have mattered. You're a Chen, your family is worth billions. And I would have. Stayed? Taken care of me? Honored your vows? Silence. You would have done exactly what you did, Vincent. You just would have been smarter about hiding it. His tone shifted, desperate now. Listen, the divorce isn't finalized. We can stop it, I'll call my lawyer. The divorce you filed? That you wanted? That you celebrated with champagne and Instagram models? I was upset. I wasn't thinking clearly. You called me a cripple. A burden. You said you wanted a perfect wife, not a wheelchair. Silence. Those are your words, Vincent. In the ICU, while I was paralyzed. Mei Lin, please. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Now you live with it. But the prenup, my lawyer says I might lose 40%. 40% of your assets. Yes. That's millions. I can't afford. Then maybe you should have thought about that before throwing divorce papers at your paralyzed wife. I heard something break on his end. Glass shattering. This isn't fair. You tricked me. I tested you. There's a difference. And you failed spectacularly. I'll fight this. I'll tell everyone you lied about who you were. Go ahead. Tell them. Tell them how you abandoned your wife in the ICU because you thought she was poor. I let that sink in. See how that plays in court. See how that plays in the press. See how that plays with every business partner who knows my family name. Mei Lin. We're done, Vincent. The divorce will proceed. And when the investigation into your family's company is finished, we'll see if there's anything left for me to take 40% of. Investigation. What investigation? Ask your father. The police have questions about the driver who hit me. I hung up. 2 hours later, I got a visitor. Vincent's mother. Mrs. Zhang. She swept into my hospital room like she owned it. Designer dress. Perfect hair. Cold eyes. Miss Chen. We need to talk. No. We don't. My son made an error in judgment, but surely we can come to an arrangement. An arrangement? Your family and ours could benefit from a partnership. We drop the divorce. You drop any investigations. Everyone wins. I looked at this woman. This woman who raised a man who abandoned his wife in the ICU. Mrs. Zhang. Your son called me a burden. A cripple. He threw divorce papers at me while I was paralyzed and told me to pay my own hospital bills. I pressed the nurse call button. There is no arrangement. There is no partnership. There is only consequences. Security escorted her out. Her screaming echoed down the hallway. You'll regret this. The Zhang family has connections. We'll destroy you. I smiled. The Zhang family was worth $47 million. My family was worth $2.3 billion. This wasn't a war. This was an execution. The investigation into Zhang Construction took 3 weeks. What they found was worse than anyone expected. The drunk driver Kevin Wu wasn't just an employee. He was Vincent's cousin. And he wasn't just drunk that night. He was high. On cocaine, supplied at Vincent's party. A party where multiple employees later testified that Vincent had encouraged Kevin to drive home. He'll be fine. Stop being dramatic. Those words. Recorded on someone's phone video. 5 minutes before Kevin ran a red light and nearly killed me. But that wasn't the worst part. The investigation expanded. Zhang Construction had been cutting corners for years. Bribing inspectors. Falsifying safety reports. Using substandard materials. 3 building collapses in the past decade. Blamed on natural causes. 17 workers injured. 2 killed. All covered up. The FBI got involved. Then the state attorney general. Then the media. Zhang construction empire crumbles amid fraud and negligence scandal. Wedding night crash leads to massive criminal investigation. Billionaire Harris's divorce exposes family corruption. Vincent's father was arrested first. Then his uncle. Then 3 executives. Then Vincent himself. Accessory to negligent assault. Conspiracy to obstruct justice, witness tampering. He tried to pay Kevin to leave the country. The wire transfer was traced in 2 hours. I watched his arrest on television. From my physical therapy room. Standing. On my own 2 legs. The experimental nerve treatment worked. 3 months of intensive therapy, countless hours of pain. But I walked again. First with a walker, then a cane. Then nothing at all. The doctors called it a miracle. I called it expensive. Same thing, really. The divorce was finalized while Vincent was awaiting trial. 40% of his assets, what remained after legal fees, came to me. $4.7 million. Pocket change compared to my family fortune. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the principle. I donated every cent to a rehabilitation center for accident victims. Named it after my grandmother. The woman who taught me that character reveals itself in crisis. Vincent's crisis revealed everything. 1 month after his arrest, I got a letter. From prison. From Vincent. Mei Lin. I don't know if you'll read this. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. I've had time to think. About who I was. About what I did. About the man I became. When I saw you in that hospital bed, I didn't see my wife. I saw an obstacle, a problem. A burden. I didn't see a person, I saw what you could do for me. And when I thought you couldn't do anything, I threw you away. That's not who I wanted to be. But it's who I was. I don't deserve forgiveness, I don't deserve sympathy, I don't even deserve this chance to apologize. But I'm sorry. For all of it. For everything. You deserve better than me, you always did. Vincent. I read it once. Then I put it in a drawer. Not burned. Not treasured. Just. A chapter closed. 6 months later, Zhang Construction was dissolved. Assets liquidated. Property seized. Employees scattered. A 40-year family empire destroyed in half a year. Vincent's father got 12 years. His uncle got 8. Vincent got 3. Reduced sentence for cooperation. Mrs. Zhang, the woman who'd stormed into my hospital room demanding an arrangement, sold everything. The mansion. The cars. The jewelry. Last I heard, she was living with her sister in a small apartment. Couldn't even afford a housekeeper. Karma. 1 year after the accident, I gave an interview. First time I'd spoken publicly about everything. The reporter asked the obvious question. Do you regret marrying Vincent? Hiding your identity? Any of it? I thought about it. I regret getting into that car. I regret trusting a man who saw people as accessories. I regret believing that love could exist without truth. I paused. But I don't regret finding out who he really was. Because the alternative was spending my life with someone who would have abandoned me the moment I became inconvenient. What's next for you? I smiled. I'm launching a foundation. For women in abusive or coercive relationships, legal support, financial resources, medical care. What's it called? The Second Chance Foundation, because everyone deserves one. Except the people who don't give them. The foundation launched with $50 million in initial funding. My family contributed half. I contributed the rest. In the first year, we helped 1,247 women leave dangerous situations. In the second year, 3,500. By year 5, we'd expanded to 12 countries. Vincent was released after 2.5 years. Good behavior. I heard he tried to start a new business. Failed. Tried to get a job with former colleagues. No one would hire him. Tried to date. Every woman Googled his name first. The internet never forgets. He reached out once, after his release. A LinkedIn message. Professional. Distant. Mei Lin. I'm trying to rebuild. Would you be willing to meet? Just coffee. I'd like to apologize in person. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back. No. That was it. No explanation. No closure. No second chances. Some bridges don't rebuild. Last month, I remarried. His name is David. A doctor, specialized in rehabilitation medicine. We met during my recovery. He was one of my therapists. He didn't know I was wealthy until our third date. By then, he was already in love. With me. Not my money. Not my family. Not my name. Just me. Our wedding was small, 50 people. Garden ceremony. I walked down the aisle. On my own 2 feet. Every step a victory. David cried when he saw me. I cried too. Not tears of sadness, not tears of triumph. Tears of peace. At the reception, my maid of honor gave a toast. To Mei Lin. Who survived a car crash, a divorce, and a complete betrayal. Who rebuilt her body, her heart, and her faith in love. Who turned tragedy into purpose and pain into power. She raised her glass. To the strongest woman I know. May your second chapter be everything your first should have been. I looked at David. He squeezed my hand. No regrets? He whispered. I thought about Vincent. The ICU. The divorce papers. The cruelty. Then I thought about my foundation. My recovery. My new life. Not a single one. Vincent wanted a perfect wife. He got one. He just couldn't see her through his own reflection.